This is a Emergency Broadcast. Code Red, hold on, Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's gonna hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the air. It is 8 o'clock Eastern, Western time, 11 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah.
Figured to tell you that. And we have my sidekick on the Eastern side, Kai, and here's the sidekick. We have a second half of a program we did last week coming up.
Yeah.
Anybody else will hit those telephones and take that ring in there, Chucky.
Yeah. With the plan, and of course, Uncle, before we get any further, you were saying how we're in different time zones.
Episode. Yeah, and it's 138 episode.
Well, of course it is.
Yes, it is. The 138th episode.
Them people. I was talking to people on this phone.
Yeah, Uncle's coming in through the phone tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. No, allow me for just a second, Aaron. Take a rest. Here's the deal: Uncle is on the phone line, but we are pulling this show from 3 different points together in the United States, right?
Correct. That's what I was trying to tell him. But I'll let you say it there, Chuck.
Absolutely. I figure I'll do that. I'll give him the phone number, get all that stuff out of the way, because we are looking forward to the possibility of Seth the Poet showing up, and we're going to have the contest here in just a little bit. But you can join into the show if you want, and you don't have to be in one of the 3 parts of the country that we're in, because as it stands right now, you can make a triangle out of us. See, you go toward the south, you got me sitting in Georgia, you got Aaron sitting in Pennsylvania, and Uncle is in California. So there's your triangle. If you're anywhere within or without, you can join in at 319-527-5016 and be a part of it. Now, there's one caveat here, and that is that if Seth the Poet shows up, he is the priority. He comes on, and the show goes on from there. But you can remain on the line and listen to the whole thing by dialing 319-527-5016. Right, Uncle?
That's right. You said the number right. I had the piece of paper here.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'm laying on the couch. This is nice and comfortable.
Oh, there you go. Get comfortable.
Better hear you. Sit down.
Get comfortable, Uncle, because, Uncle, do you remember your role in this contest?
We've got I got thing we can study. The first one I got on my mind to tell you about.
Well, let's hold those off.
You gotta wait. You gotta wait for it.
Hold that off because Seth isn't here.
I got one already started, but I'm not telling you yet.
Yeah, don't.
Okay,
don't.
Wait until the other half comes.
Exactly. But this is kind of
waiting on the other half. I almost messed up.
No, it's good. It's good. Listen, that's why I'm here. I'm just here to help, right? Right now, I'm here to help. I'm the producer. In a minute, I'm going to switch roles. I'm a guest. But what happens here, this is kind of funny. Uncle's chilling out on the couch. Aaron is sick, and he's, choking back some of his words. Probably needs a little drink. You know what I mean? To keep his throat going because he sounds a little sick. But still, we're pulling this together. I love this, Uncle. This is a lot of fun, and it's a different kind of show. But until we get into
in a way.
Hey, until we get into the competition, I mean, you got anything else on your mind before we get into it?
No, just that if you want a couple, going to give you sports reports, but I guess you didn't want them now. I'll give them to you later.
We don't need a sports report. I was just wondering, how's things going? I mean, you feeling good over there? Because Aaron's sick. I mean, but you're feeling healthy sitting in California, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Get away from that. That eastern side weather. Yeah, I'm surprised it's not raining.
Was here today.
The weather. I was actually reminded by someone in the chat room here at Ocelli.com that I need to have the Twitter poll ready for when after the spoken word battle is over. The way that we determine the winner is via a Twitter poll. So I'll say, who do you think won, Seth the Poet or Chuck? And then you get to vote who you think won, and whoever the official winner will be whoever takes that Twitter poll.
See, and no matter what, the winner is Uncle. So that's got to go out through the Uncle the Podcast Twitter handle, though, right? That's where the voting's going to take place?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
voting in my area.
There you go. Exactly. Because I just want to make sure. Because people want to vote afterwards. That's where you're going to be able to go. I wonder where Seth is, though. I thought he was roaring and ready to go. What's going on, man?
Well, here's one of the things about Seth. I believe he will be calling in, but the one difficult thing is I did not see him at work this week because I've been gone. I haven't seen him for a little while. Because I've been gone. You know what I mean? I went on vacation. I didn't really have means to contact him directly, but I believe he will be calling in, but we don't know, and if he doesn't, would it be acceptable to do this another time? I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen.
It will be if he doesn't show. I'd say yes, because there has to be like you said, Chuck. It has to be a triangle.
Right. No, look,
there's no way around it. You have to have the triangle. Well, from the point of voting.
Right. No, and look, Uncle, it's your show. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
my show is saying that.
Yeah, so you do what? I mean, listen, if he doesn't show up, we're going to do what Uncle wants to do, and whatever that is, I guess we'll find out. So, whatever Uncle wants to do, we're going to do it. I mean, if Uncle wanted to just, test me on something, or if he wants to go into a different direction, talk about some other stuff, this again is the trip doing a live show because, hey, look, things happen, right, Uncle? I mean, it's kind of fun not knowing exactly how it's going to turn out, right?
Yeah, this is one of those kinds that you were saying about there, Chuck. This is one of those kinds.
Exactly.
You never know what would happen because you said the last week everybody was here, and you said, well, next week we'll do it, and then here we are next week, and have just you, me, and Fonz on, and where's it? Just like you said.
Well, actually, I'll say this: I'm sending Seth a message through Instagram right now.
Okay.
Which had not occurred to me earlier, but I'm doing it now. So if he's on there,
well, good work. Does he have a Twitter handle too, though, Aaron?
He's not on Twitter. He's on Instagram as Seth the Poet.
Okay.
Hit him on Instagram and see what he says.
Yeah, I just did that. So that's my way of getting a hold of him. So if he has his phone with him, he should get a little message through Instagram. And if he sees it and he's able to call in, he will call in. I will say that for him.
Oh, yeah.
I know he's going to call in because he said he likes my show. So I have found that Seb will call. If he calls, I know he will. But that's like you said. We have to wait and hear. Hit those phone calls. It does ring. It does ring. Let me know if he's ringing.
Hey, I hear you. There's a suggestion in the chat room. Did you see that, Aaron?
Yeah, that's what I was just laughing at right now.
I thought that's what you were laughing at, but you want to read it or you want me to read it?
Go ahead and read it, Chuck, yeah.
Okay, so the suggestion in the chat room is as follows. Listeners who are not looking at the chat room at Ocelli.com, they're suggesting that somehow we change the battle if Seth doesn't show up and make it Uncle versus Chuck, and whoever the winner is, then Seth has to battle with him next time. I think that's really creative and funny. Uncle, what do you think?
That would be good if he doesn't show up. It gave me some idea, chat room. Chat room gave me an idea.
There you go.
They gave me that idea. You hit it right on the head.
And you know what else? What else? We would have to change roles around since now you're one of the battlers, Uncle. I could take on the role that you would have with Chuck and Seth. So I'll throw out the topics, and then you get to see what that's like. You get to see somebody else doing that. You get a little example.
See, now that's an interesting way to go. And Aaron now has to see. Now here's the thing: Aaron's got to do some work real quick, live on air. He's got to come up with the ideas that you had lined up, Uncle, and now he's got to do some work. So I know you're all for that. Anytime we can put Aaron to work, right?
Yeah. He's not on vacation if you think he is around me.
See?
He's doing work.
Okay.
Well, I gotta say I kind of like this idea. Give Chuck a nice way. Chuck could warm up. I mean, how do you two feel? Do you want to go ahead with this? Because I'm perfectly fine doing it. I don't know what you two think.
Well, I say we give Seth 5 more minutes. Wait a second. We seem to have lost Uncle. So
okay.
I don't know why he dropped off the line, but I just noticed this really quickly. I saw a flash on my screen. Uncle was gone, so hopefully he'll call back in. Because boy, this is luck, huh? You know, who's gonna? Are we next going to lose Chuck? And Aaron will be like, hello, am I alone? Yeah. Is this a Twilight Zone episode? Yeah, no, it's kind of funny because I think it's a good idea, too. He probably accidentally hit his hang-up button, and he's probably wondering what happened right now. So hopefully we can get him to call back in. But the thing I was going to say just this second was let's give Seth till 20 after on my clock. And if he doesn't show up, we can go with an alternative idea. And obviously that would be driven by Uncle. Uncle got excited there, too. That's the other thing. So maybe he's happy about it. And look, a battle of words with Uncle. I don't know, man. That's even more intimidating than dealing with Seth because, it's just, man, that's just hard. I don't know what to tell you guys. If you guys are familiar with this show, that's like, ooh, the other way, there could be some nuances and some wordplay and all that. But if I got to actually battle Uncle, that's a whole other issue. From battling with Seth, and I don't know if I'm prepared, but I'll go with it. It's Uncle's show. He's the boss. So, and the boss needs to call back in. So let's see if we can get him back.
Well, I have my wife on it now, so she'll be helping him out to call back in. So it's probably, like you said, he probably just mashed the keys on the phone. And if not, maybe worst case scenario, the phone lost battery, but we have 2 phones, so you can just get the other phone, So it shouldn't be a big deal, I'm sure.
Right. Actually, here we go.
Oh, you got him, huh?
I believe I have him. Let's see.
Okay.
Come on. I think
back on the air again.
There he is.
Hello, caller. What's your name and where are you calling?
On the air again.
Caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Just a minute, you sidekick. I messed up the phone. The phone messed up on the phone ring.
We got
what happened there?
We got it, Uncle.
The numbers, a number pushed on the phone.
It's okay. We held down.
I don't know what happened.
It's okay. We held down the fort while you were gone, Uncle. It's cool. We knew that had happened, but anyway, we're still going with this idea. We're just going to give Seth a few more minutes to make the call since he got the message on Instagram. Got to give him a chance.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving him that much time. I'm giving him time. It's a little bit. I'm going a little over my hours anyway.
Well, I figure we'll go to 20 after, which is now about 4 minutes away, and then if not, it's your call. You can start there, so that way we got a mark, and that's that. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be okay.
All right. So, Aaron, back to you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like how this is all lining up because if nothing else, this is just additional hype for what will eventually be the Chuck and Sef spoken word contest. Because it's going to happen. This past week has been crazy. As I was saying in the previous hour, I didn't even get around to posting the podcasts to the regular podcast feeds. I was just running around like an absolute maniac. I
didn't know how it feels.
Yeah. I mean, Uncle, how about, am I telling the truth in this or am I embellishing? Was it that bad or am I just being a baby about things?
Oh, it's not been pushed along. Well, first of all, we didn't study on what we were say.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we've had that problem. I only have one idea, That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
that's fine. You're right. We didn't get time. We didn't get time to like sit around and plan like we should have.
I know that's the problem. I gotta say, it has been crazy.
Yeah.
It has been
right?
crazy, and I'm not really ready. Even if this continued, I don't know if I'm sort of ready myself because of what you were saying.
Well, Uncle, look. Worst case scenario, and the worst case scenario actually being very good, that the battle between Seth and Chuck happens, and you have to come up with topics. Just free form it. Just whatever you think is an interesting idea or thing or something that you like. Just throw that out there as a topic that they can start from, and it will be.
That's how I'm going to go with. But I do have one subject that I have in my mind.
Good. So keep that one to yourself for now.
Yeah, right.
But then after that one,
I have to think of others.
Yeah, after that one's used up, just think of stuff that's cool or stuff, maybe even something interesting that's happened lately. A topic like, for instance, you could say, okay, you two start rapping something about electric eels right now in the Amazonian rainforest. Okay, give me a rap about that, and then they would have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you say, Chuck? That would be acceptable, right? Electric eels?
I guess so. I'm not passing judgment. Listen, I'm just here to perform my function. So however it is you guys go, win, lose, or draw, this is on you. This is on you. So whatever pops in Uncle's head, I think is exactly the right thing that should be said. How about that?
Oh, man, I couldn't agree more. Yeah. I couldn't agree more. And we're having a suggestion in the chat room that Uncle take callers. So if you want to call in, feel free. It's 319.
Call in if people want to call. I mean, it's my hour, so you might as well. If worst comes to worst, we can do the show and have people call in.
Yeah, the number is 319-527-5016. Call up and chat with us. Have a little talk with Uncle.
Yeah.
We like callers, don't we, Uncle?
Yeah, I like them because I let them do the talking.
Yeah.
You know my system. I like the way they talk, and I don't mind them listening to having a talk to them. Where it less is us for just chatting back and forth. My point is, if the guests come in, I'll give them the talk. Whatever they want to talk about.
Oh yeah.
I've said that to anybody ever wanted to call in for my show. That's welcome to do it that way.
We keep things pretty much the same here. The things that Uncle. Certain things, I don't want to say get set in stone, but certain just general practices are always taken here. And certainly the one that we let the caller or the guest lead the conversation. That's the way we like to do things.
That's exactly my point. That's the point I was getting to, yeah. Because I sit back and listen to them more than I do the chatting.
Uncle, do you want to... I'll bring this up too, is more just part of the craziness of before I left the house in California and came out here to trip to Pennsylvania. You've had some recurring health issues. Do you want to talk about that at all, or do you want to skip over that for now?
I can. Yeah, we'll talk about some of that, I guess. Well, I've had seizure problems.
Yeah.
Went to a party, and I ate fine, but then I had a low.
Low sugar, you're talking.
The sugar low. We thought it was a sugar low.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went to the ER, as they say on the television, ER in the hospital just on this past week.
You did? I wasn't there for that.
No, you weren't. This is what I'm talking about.
This is after I left. This happened.
Whoever's listening, and went for a checkup on my head. For a testing to see if there was something wrong with the head. You know how it is. The heck is she laughing for downstairs?
Yeah. You because you had fallen, you've been having these seizures fairly often, and you had one
about four times.
Yeah, they've been quite frequent.
It happened for a week, and then when I went in, let me finish saying this.
You clunked your head.
When I went in, they went in for the exam to check on how, if it was the problem with the head. See?
Did they do a CAT scan or something crazy like that?
CAT scan, that's what it was.
They did.
They did a CAT scan. I asked the nurse, how does it go? And she's explaining to me how it goes. And I said, you sit there still. Okay, we did that. Stay still. And then the examination goes around the head like a rainbow. Felt like the thing was going overhead. You know how you're going overhead? Well, it's rainbows. Concentrating on the brain to see what's in there.
Yeah.
So then they said it takes an hour and a half to get fixed and sent. Okay, that was done, and we went back there.
I hear some laughing in the background.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if she's listening to me.
I can't tell. But anyway, you got the CAT scan, and then everything's fine, right? Your noggin's okay?
Yeah, so we went back. The problem was waiting and waiting and waiting. I got aggravated. She had appointments, got aggravated, and I was up and saying, where's the doctor? Where's the doctor? You know, it was after 2 o'clock until we finally got the doctor.
Really?
People are bad and for updating it. If somebody was really dying, they'd have a problem in that hospital.
You were putting their waiting room to the test.
But she decided to wait instead of going to do her thing. So Nana, of course, your mother-in-law, was waiting, and she got upset because she missed her appointment. Well, I can understand. This is a problem, but this was so. Comes was she did it the other day, next day. But the point I'm saying is, the waiting for it is ridiculous, and it was absolutely ridiculous how they had the hold. So then, finally she shows up and says, the head examination, that's fine. So there wasn't anything with that.
Good.
Came to the conclusion that it was the pills needed to be cut back.
The doctor told you that?
That's what we thought it was.
Did the doctor tell you that? Did the doctor tell you that?
No, she was telling it to Nana was telling it to the doctor.
Oh, yeah, because that's what we suspect. It might be because you changed your medications around, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. And so now she said, well, I'm keeping the appointment for the 20th of June for the next appointment and get it straight. And it should be better by then. So, but that's the story.
There you have it. Yeah. So that's just, you've been having these things, and that's just part of the craziness, and there's been other stuff too, so I don't know. It's just been a wacky time, and I haven't contacted Sef properly, and it's looking like he's probably not going to show up, but that's okay because, like I said, he will show up another week, and it will happen, and you're just going to have to keep listening to Uncle the Podcast.
Question is to asking Chuck now. Chuck? Side in?
Oh, yeah. I'm here.
Whether you want to do your thinking to do it that way, or do you want to wait another week?
Well,
do I want to do another week?
Look, again, you're the boss, Uncle. So, whatever it is you say, this is your show.
I think it's to make it fair. Let's do another subject, because I figured we can wait another week.
Yeah, I think
fair enough.
Fine.
Since he made up, I wanted, because I like to talk to the actor, man, anyway.
Well, a couple things. In the chat room, they're asking if you've tried the CBD oil maybe to help you out. And just thinking there when you said somebody mentioned cutting down on the pill there, what you were just talking about, maybe that's you're getting a little too much. That's why your sugar got low at that party, huh?
Well, I was eating fine there at the party. The food wasn't the problem.
No, not
I ate a good patch of food.
Yeah.
The food I was eating. What it was is his kids. He didn't want no food. But I was surprised. And they're so shy, like if they're not like in the house, yapping and screaming at us or going crazy. Then these kids that he has are crazy. Let me tell you, they go to a guest house, I guess over there, and they're quiet like a beanstalk. I can't figure those kids out. I'm telling you.
But that's a good thing.
Here I am babysitting them, and I know how it's sounding like.
See, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing when they go to somebody else's house, they behave themselves. I prefer that.
And they do. That is the point. That's the point, Chuck. They do.
Yeah.
That's what surprised me.
But it's good.
And then and then they come home and they go crazy. The house goes up in storms.
Well, look, kids are crazy, man. I got.
Quiet little kid, quiet little man, going crazy. Don't making too much of a noise.
I got one, and I bet you he sounds like 5 outside. You know what I mean? The kids are crazy nowadays, Uncle. Remember in the old days they used to say kids should be seen and not heard, right? Remember that?
Yeah, but when I got grown up, man, it wasn't just that. I know what my thing was. You get a whipping with the belt. That ain't nothing to pay down these days. They're getting away from murder, these little kids. They're not like that, like what you used to remember, Chuck?
Yeah.
I mean, we were getting whipped by a damn belt and swam. I've learned that from experience.
Well, see, I had a little bit of a different experience. Whatever was within the arm's reach of my mom, that's what I would get hit with. So it could vary. It wasn't always a belt. So, it could be anything.
My mother was strict.
Yeah.
Sister sounds just like she's following her footsteps.
Oh, boy.
She gets strict, too. She's just like her.
There you go.
Follows her footsteps.
Well, yeah, definitely the kids are loud. That is without a doubt. My son especially tends to be a bit loud, pretty high energy. But yeah, it's Uncle, are there some sort of exotic birds in the house today? I hear some sound there in the house.
It definitely does sound like exotic birds. You're right.
No birds. It's just them screaming downstairs. I don't know what they're yelling, laughing about.
Yeah.
Right on cue. Right on cue. There's the noisy kids.
Yeah. I think I just heard a laricaete calling.
This is why I'm doing the broadcast up in the loft area. I'll be so sidetracked down there. I can't do it down there. That's why I'm up here.
Yeah, don't go down there in the middle. All that the audience is getting a little taste of why we hide away in our well-insulated closet to do the show. Typically,
yeah,
I was just going to say.
Now I understand why, and I see your point now. Now that we're doing it, this is the first time ever we did this, and I was trying to think of that. I'll come up with that solution. And now that you're there and me here and doing it on the phone, they actually hear what we were saying.
Makes it worse.
They're in the room.
Oh, that's funny.
They don't have no idea what we're saying.
So now, Uncle and Transresistor listeners know why it is that they broadcast from a closet. That's great.
It's not audience.
It's not just my kids that are noisy.
It's not the acoustics.
Yeah.
Well, they're not bad either. They're pretty good in there.
They are true enough. But it's not just the acoustics that inspired the decision to we're going to go behind this closet door and do the show. I always thought it was kind of strange, but then again, if I had a closet big enough to go into, that's probably where my show would come from too. Just saying.
Yeah, we have the luxury of.
I don't know where you do your show, Chuck.
But
it's got to be a bigger, wider room.
It's a corner of a bedroom. It's not a bigger, wider room that I'm taking up. I mean, I'm taking up a lot of space because I got a big monitor.
Now that we're talking about space room, I figure that's what we can talk about. Other than.
Well, this just is a side issue, but I'm just saying it's pretty funny, though, that right when he's talking about the noisy kids, all of a sudden it sounds like birds are calling and flying around your house, Aaron. It's hilarious. And it's like, no, it's just them down there. I love
them down there. They act like birds.
It's not a gray parrot.
You're laughing about it.
It's my wife and her mother. Not to be confused with exotic birds, yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, I also have to practice my guitar in that closet too, because that tends to make a bit of noise.
Have your father on a guest? Because he's welcome.
Yeah, you know what? I thought about that, but you better believe he's asleep right now. It's a bit late for him.
He's passed out too.
Yeah, I thought about that.
That surprised me. I thought he would be on this conversation.
Well, you got to remember, Uncle. Well, you got to remember, Uncle, just like it's, already it's 27 minutes to midnight for me, right? Same thing in Pennsylvania. That's what time it is. So it's almost midnight on the East Coast, see?
This is my problem about the time issue. You hit on the head, Chuck.
Yeah, well, I mean, to you, it's just early evening. It's prime time. But for me, it's like, hey, it's about to become Saturday morning. I mean, which is why, it's like, well, let's go another hour. Hold on. When we did the New Year's Eve thing, remember, I was on until 1 a.m.
That was crazy.
And, so when I do this, it's a little later here on the East Coast. Anyway, just something to consider. And Aaron, you're feeling those effects right now because you're like, wait a minute, this should have been done like 3 hours ago.
Right? I was going to say that. Yeah, I'm feeling your pain. That's good too. Now I get to see what the late scene is all about.
Oh, yeah.
Doing the night show here.
You're there. You should see it now there, Fonz.
See, the best part is after the show, too, because when you're done, everybody's asleep. There's nothing good, to listen to or watch on TV or whatever, unless you got, some on-demand or some Netflix, you can play it anytime you want. But truth is, there's like no news being broadcast. There's nothing. So by the time we're done doing this show on Friday, it's like, and you don't want to eat because...
Did he send you some cards yet?
Oh, you know what, Uncle? That's interesting because we just got a question about that in the chat room. They're asking, hey, did you guys mail out business cards? Aaron, I included return postage so you're not out too much money. Okay, it sounds like this listener sent something to my post office box, which I did not get to check last week. When I get back to California, I will check it because I know I have a couple good things in there. Anybody who sent us correspondence and saying that they want business cards, I'll start packing them up then and send them out. So I'll send them when I get back to California.
Right.
And send them more to Chuck too.
I have a lot of stuff to send to Chuck. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I'm going to see what you send me in the package, and then I'm going to construct one for you.
Nice.
So, but I say anybody who's listening to this that wants to be part of the Uncle Street team, this is a good time to point it out. The cards are available, so all you got to do is contact I would suggest you contact Aaron's email if you want to go email-wise, but also on your website you have the P.O. Box publicly listed, right?
Oh, yeah. Just go to the contact page on either theageoftransitions.com or unclethepodcast.com. It has our address there. Send anything to us. Correspondence, if you want to be part of the street team, send us a little postcard or something with an address we can send the cards to. We'll send you those. We might send you, almost certainly we'll send you something else like stickers or something. So, yeah. You can also email me, Franz, at theageoftransitions.com. We'll get you those Uncle the Podcast business cards. And you know what? I have Age of Transitions business cards, too.
Nice.
So I'll probably give you those. So I just found the old box of them laying around. I kind of forgot about them, but I still have those. So I'll send you those, too.
Nice. And I've also got a box of 500 Ocelli.com business cards. So for me...
I was thinking if you wanted to, send some to Chuck since he's there.
Oh, yeah. We're going to exchange them.
I will.
We're going to exchange them. I'm going to send them.
In Pennsylvania, it's a passed away.
Well,
No, for postage issues.
right.
Maybe, maybe not.
That's what I was thinking.
Well,
Uncle, if I've learned anything working for the United States Postal Service, it's that the mail works in mysterious ways. So you might be right, you might not be, even though it's common sense what you said.
I forgot you worked with people.
yeah, the mail does not travel in straight lines across the country, despite what you may think. Is that accurate, Aaron?
Yeah, that's pretty accurate, yeah.
It is
There's
funny. Yeah.
There's a lot going on when it comes to the USPS.
I was
let me
thinking
tell ya.
about the postage. I guess that's what I was thinking about, Chuck.
No, I understand. And look, we're going to exchange cards, and we exchange cards with the listeners. So just so you guys know, if you send an email to info@ocelli.com, I will include you in my part of this. But I absolutely advise you get active as part of the Uncle Street team. And, hey, maybe some age of transition stuff. And who knows? You know, if it's a good week, sometimes we can afford to send you a little something else, too. Something to put in your hot little hands so you can spread the word about the show you're listening to. So how's that for a little quick advertisement, if I can get it out? Advertisement, Aaron.
Yeah.
I like it.
I
I
wanted
like
to
it.
hear from Matt.
Jeffrey
I haven't heard
Matt?
from Matt if the phone was ringing. But just
Wait.
a curiosity, because I haven't talked to him since.
We talking about Jeffrey Matt, Uncle?
Yeah. That's what Matt. I wanted to know how he's doing.
Chuck, do you want to say anything about this? I know you mentioned him in the first hour, or do you not? It doesn't matter to me.
No, Jeffrey Matt is totally welcome to be a guest on any show on the network. I'm just not producing him any longer.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying about it. But it's it had nothing to do with his material. I was not pressured to remove him. It was just something that if you wish to ask him about it, go ahead. I'm not going to disclose it, but it's just he's not part of this going forward. But if he wants to be a guest on my show, if he wants to be a guest on Aaron's show, Pierce's show, or the upcoming Larry Pinckney show, or anybody else's show, no worries there. I'm friendly with him, but we are just not going to work together in that capacity any longer. But if Jeffrey wants to be on this show, great. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. I didn't know that. Uncle, what say you to that?
It's not like I made a big announcement. I just,
that's the first I heard of it, Chuck. I didn't.
Well, he was doing a show once a month, and a couple of people noticed that he didn't do one this month, and that's why. It's just that is what it is. But it's not. He's okay and everything, and he's able to. Like I say, if you guys want to have him on, great. I'm going to have him on if he'll come on. It's up to him, but there's no issue there. It's just a matter of that's no longer going to be part of what we're doing. That's all.
Well, if he wants to be on my show, he's welcome to be on it. Like I said, he seemed like a nice guy.
He's
Canada.
And for the record, even if you guys wanted to have somebody on who I despise, it's not my business. It's your show when it's Uncle's show, and it's Aaron's show when it's the age of transitions. So I'm here to help. I'm not here to limit who you bring on or anything. You can do what you want. Just, it's your call.
From my standpoint.
Oh, Uncle, who we need to get on the show? We need to get Eric Clapton on the show.
Eric who?
Oh, there's
Eric Clapton. Because I know.
Clapton?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's something you can work on, Chuck.
I know.
No, who can work on that?
Well, I would have to do that because Chuck. That's what Chuck doesn't care for.
I'm not doing
that. Man, there, sidekick.
I'll get right on it.
Since you brought it up.
That's one thing I'm not doing. But you can bring him on. It's up to you, but I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to him. You're right about that, Fonz.
Hey, you have another caller, You have another caller, Uncle.
Oh, a caller.
A caller?
Yeah.
What's your name and where you from?
Oh, yeah.
Greetings, Uncle and Aaron and Chuck. This is Robin again calling from Victoria.
Hey.
Oh, Robin Crocodile Gandhi back again.
Crocodile Dundee.
You betcha. No, I've been listening. I didn't hear all of your show today, there, Aaron.
Okay.
I spaced out. I was watching a bit of the basketball game.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Had some other audio on, and then I realized and tuned in at the last minute there. But thought I'd call in the second half of Uncle here, and
Well, yeah, you know the right time to call in. That's for sure.
Yep.
Isn't that right, Uncle?
You're still on the East Coast, right there?
No, I'm in the west, as far west as you can go in Canada. Here.
Oh, you're on the West Coast like me.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a little more north.
I lose track of where people are calling from.
Remember, Robin?
Yeah.
Robin is in the San Diego of Canada with the perfect weather up there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose it's been nice the last couple of days here too. We had like 15 minutes of rain today, but then it cleared up.
We didn't
Keep you guys informed.
Oh,
We didn't
right.
have any rain.
See, Uncle,
I recommend it's a good travel destination. If you guys ever feel like traveling to Canada, it's a good spot.
Oh, yeah. I'd been like to get out of the United States to travel.
Have you ever been to anywhere in Canada, Uncle?
No.
No.
I've always wanted to.
You don't have any felonies?
I meet some of these people that are on the phone. I wouldn't mind look them up if I ever went to Canada.
Right. Yeah, well, if you ever come to Victoria, let me know.
Yeah, Victoria gets very highly rated from people that I've talked to that go there. People are like, "Oh, it's such a great city," and I know people that are into like biking and things like that. So they're like, "Oh, the cycling is so good," and like all that. So I've heard a lot of good things.
There's some biking trails and whatnot around here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in a wheelchair. I had a diving injury when I was 22.
Oh,
I don't
gosh.
get to take part in those activities, but
oh my gosh,
it's plenty beautiful enough for me to be enjoying other things around here. So,
well, this is the summer now, so this is like the best. Is this the best weather of the year, or what do you think about that? Maybe not.
Yeah, I suppose like there, not too many forest fires, especially this time of the world, whatever you want to make of that. There's definitely be a lot of forest fires, just like California up here. And Victoria, luckily, doesn't get too much of that coming down because the winds usually are blowing different directions. But it's so the spring is definitely a lot nicer all around because of that in recent years.
Say, guys, John is calling back in. Do you want me to add him into the party line here, Uncle, or should we wait?
Who's that?
John, who called in the first hour.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
We were talking about birds down there. They think they heard birds. That's what they were talking about.
birds. The birds are back in town.
Yeah, they're yelling and saying they thought they were talking about them. I said, no, they were talking about birds.
We're not always talking about them, just usually.
No, that's what they said. She just beamed up here and said that.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Well, so you want?
They think it was birds walking down there.
So we want to add John from Astoria, Washington.
Yeah, go ahead. Put him in. Put him on.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, I'm Batman. Go ahead.
Batman. Hey, where's Robin?
Well, there's birds flying around. I figured I'll be Batman for a minute. Anyway, John, you're on.
I'm here as well.
You're on the air there, John. Where you from?
Uncle, pleasure to meet you, buddy.
Oh, where you from?
Astoria, Oregon.
Oh, an Oregon man.
Yes.
I've always wanted to talk to Oregon man.
Yeah. Where the Goonies was, Uncle. Remember in Kindergarten Cop, we were talking about this recently? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's him.
So what's been happening there?
It's this weekend is, believe it or not, is the Goonies weekend in Astoria. And it's a big thing, Uncle. It's a big thing.
We're celebrating the movie itself?
That movie was interesting.
Yeah. Oh, John, we've got a fellow listener and caller, Robin, on the line. That's here. So
Robin's on the line too.
So we got.
Okay.
Hello, John.
Yes.
Is this like a weekend deal where they have a celebration of the Goonies or something?
Yes, it is. this weekend in June is the big weekend for the Goonies, and I found it really funny that the paper put out that they said they did not want anybody going up into the neighborhood, but they want everybody else to appreciate the Goonies weekend. So I thought that was funny.
Which neighborhood specifically? I've seen the movie, but I can't remember the specifics.
I believe it's about 36th Street.
Is that where the house was, or it's?
Yes, the house was.
Right. It is, I guess.
It's it would be. Let me see directly. Let's see, north. It's by Safeways.
Oh, there we go. By Safeway.
Aaron, have you seen Jay Dyer's analysis of the Goonies?
I remember him posting it. I've never seen that though.
Yeah, I don't recall the specifics of it, but there's some interesting. He's got some interesting theories about that, and I guess Astoria too. Is that named after the
yes.
Astor family too, right?
Correct.
Yes, it is.
The Goonies was when he was in the new guy. The good one was in the bag, and they're running around, and the bad ones were the ones that are tearing up the place.
The Fratellis,
right?
yeah. The Fratellis are the bad guys. The good guys are the kids. The kids are after the treasure of One-Eyed Willie. So we got pirates involved, so you know something esoteric's happening, right? We got those pirates involved.
Right.
Kids, there's always interesting things happening with kids, and there's a lot going on, clearly, but...
Your little girl's got a shirt of it, Cons.
Marla? Wait a minute, my daughter? Are we talking about my daughter?
Yeah. She has a shirt.
She's got a Goonies? I didn't even know she had that. I haven't seen that yet.
She has one, huh? I know.
Okay. Things I don't know about my own children.
I don't even know what I know about it before he does.
John, do you know any history of Astoria and why it's named that?
No. I was always trying to figure out why.
It was named after John Jacob Astor, and it dates back to 1814 April 4th, 1811. That's when it dates back to, and it's the oldest city west of the Rockies.
Wow. So that's where they made the show, I suppose.
Yeah. And it predates San Francisco, Seattle, Portland, and all those cities.
Yeah.
Astoria
carrying the torch west
to the Rockies.
Yeah. So John and Robin not too far away from each other. John, the Pacific Northwest of the U.S., and then the Pacific coast of Canada down there south in Victoria. Robin, so you guys are basically neighbors.
Not too far.
Yeah, I've never been down that far myself. I've been to Seattle once, but
Astoria is a great place. About the last 10 years, it's become essentially a
Goonies travel destination.
Well, not so much that, but it's become a hub for pub beer and pot.
Oh, interesting.
Those are the two things that are really generalized in the city.
Interesting.
Oh my gosh.
Soma.
What would Detective John Kimball think of that, Uncle? What would Detective John Kimball say?
It's interesting to understand and talk about all this crazy stuff.
There's so much crazy stuff. Have the birds settled down over there, Uncle?
Yeah. The birds have calmed down.
I don't hear too much at the moment.
The sun's starting to go down. So.
There you go. They've gone back to their nests.
Our place.
The sun is still up here. I think I'll have to walk up to the Goonies' house.
Yeah, it's right at
How far is it
up
up
here.
down from your place now? with your son.
Well, but both of our callers, Uncle, are in the same time zone as you, so they're on your time right now.
We have a sun man, we have a night man, and a couple other night men on this line.
Well, we know you're a night, Uncle.
I'm getting close to the twilight zone over here.
Down in the west. The sun just went down on the west.
Uncle's a sword-carrying knight. He carries a sword.
Yeah, I'm one of those. Oh, did you tell him about my story?
Yeah, well, we told that on air a couple weeks back, and we were talking about that here at home.
Yeah, that's right. I told you.
You're on the west.
That reminds me.
One of my shows, you can hear it.
That reminds me.
If you haven't heard it.
Did you hear back from the sword shop yet?
Oh no, I don't know. Did you? Son?
I need to go back in there. I'm going to go back in there, toting the cards, of course. Hopefully, the owner or owners will be in next time, and I'm just going to keep on hitting them up and until something happens. So I'll be back. Can't do it now. I'm out of town. I'm in a different state here. Maybe I could go to this sword shop in like the Camp Hill Mall or something here. That'd be cool. I'm sure they have one.
And you get some more people. That's a good idea.
I know.
Send the cards and bring the cards to them.
Spread that
Uncle,
word.
are you familiar?
Bring some cards with you.
Spread the word in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get around like the street people working.
That's it. Street team, Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you was always saying about the street team.
Taking
Uncle,
it to
have
the
you ever
streets.
used your sword for sparring or of any kind, or have you ever done any fencing before?
No, stand walking. Popular youth. But now we've got another problem. I just had a magazine, one of my magazines, came out with the new hat uniforms.
Oh, gotcha. Knights of Columbus, yeah.
People have got these new uniforms. I'm concerned saying, well, if you want back to that, how are we going to get these uniforms? Well, we got the things from people passed away of these old uniforms. I don't know how we're going to do that. And what I've heard of one of my brother mates of mine, they don't like the idea.
Yeah. Oh, Uncle, I'm just going to chime in here. I think we're going to have to say bye to John and Robin here because we're coming up to the end of the show. Is that okay?
Yeah. What's your time now? Oh.
We've got about 5 minutes left.
Okay. This is what I mean. We go in two time. This is the way I like it with customers, with clients.
Yes. So our beloved customers.
Goes down the time.
Happy customers.
Yeah, so I guess, Robin, you called in first. We'll say thank you for calling again. Do so anytime, as you usually do, and we can't wait to hear from you next time.
If anybody want to take a shout-outs, now's the time.
Yeah, shout-out to you guys. Thanks for having me on again. And Toronto seems like they might be winning this basketball championships.
There you go.
Hoorah.
I hope Toronto wins.
Spoiler alert. Spoilers.
I do.
All right.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, thanks, Robin. We'll talk to you again. Okay, so, John, now we're to you. Thank you again for calling in. Do you have any shout-outs you want to give before you get going?
Basically, I would agree with him. I hope Toronto wins. I really do.
I do, too. I like them.
You know, I'm just one of those people that wants to go for the underdog and let's beat them.
I always go with the underdogs.
Yes.
Okay.
Never go with favorites. I've learned that.
Sounds good to me. Yeah, forget Golden State. We don't care about them.
They already won. How many?
They've had enough. They've had their day. Time for the dinosaurs to win.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually a Sacramento Kings fan, so I'm a real underdog.
Nice.
Well, I like the Ducks myself.
All right, John. Well, hey, like I said before in the first hour, call back anytime. It was great to talk to you.
Anytime.
Thank you, Uncle. Pleasure speaking to you.
You're welcome. Anytime, can call back. Anytime next week or whatever.
Thank you, Aaron and Uncle and Chuckster.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure, buddy.
Hey,
Take care.
Appreciate you, John. Thank you. By the way, I'm more of a Rangers guy, but anyway.
You're great.
So, what was our story then with this? Is this going to be is my decision soon for the next show?
Well, we only have 3 minutes left, so I think we're gonna have to
be. Yeah, gonna have to be. So now you gave everybody else. You gave everybody else a chance for shout outs, Uncle. I think it's your turn.
Oh, yeah. Well, a shout out. And shout out to you guys that are sitting out there on the East Coast. Where the best coast are is in the West, of course. But everybody else, you know who you are.
They know
Simple say.
There you go. Yeah. So, Uncle, like Jim Morrison says, the West is the best.
That's what he said.
Uncle the Lizard King.
There you go. Yeah. Oh, my God. There's a T-shirt. Okay.
I said to myself, I would never move back. Since got away from the East, I'll never go living back to the East.
Life's been better, huh? Nice.
Like the West.
All right.
This is where I am.
Well, I'll give a quick shout out to sword shops nationwide. We know there's many of them out there. I hope to visit all of you someday and give you the Uncle the business card because you need it. And then, it was great having everybody involved. There's a lot of interaction today on the chat room and with the calls. So I really am excited about that. So shout out to everybody listening out there and interacting with the show too.
Yeah, shout out for the shout out people. The chat out room. Shout out to those.
Yeah, shout out room. All right. And Uncle, you know where we are. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. At Uncle Podcast.
At podcast.com.
Yeah, UncleThePodcast.com. That's the website. Live on Ocelli.com. Live Friday nights.
Ocelli.com.
11 p.m. to midnight Eastern.
Very interesting on Friday night to talk anything you guys ever want to talk about.
Anything.
On here, you know the number, and for the next Friday, if you want to call, welcome to call.
All in, yeah, and that's it for tonight. That's the Uncle Show. Anything else, Uncle, to bring us home?
That's it. Bye-bye.
See ya.